Alright guys, this is part 2 of 2 on how to rent and install a server. Now that we have our server installed, we need to get the files to dependencies that are needed to run opensim. And they're here in this window right here. I'm going to go over each one and what each one is and how to install it. Keep in mind when you get your Windows server set up, do not update Windows. I don't recommend that. I mean, that's up to you, your preference, but I find that once you update it, it makes things a lot harder to get set up. And Windows runs fine. I mean, if you're really worried about your security and whatnot, you can go ahead and update it. It's just, it may take a little bit extra settings for you to make it work. So anyways, first step is to get Google Chrome, and we're going to install that now. That's as simple as downloading it from Google and double clicking on it, and it will start the installation. It's pretty straightforward. Once that's finished, we're going to do the next step. So we'll just pause the video here while we're waiting. Alright, so we have Google Chrome installed. There it is there. Okay, next step is to install your Net Framework 4.5. So you can download that. Just Google Net Framework 4.5 and you'll find it. Once you get that on your computer, you double click on it to install it. And that's going to install pretty quickly. It's already installed on my computer, so you don't have to install. But this would be simple as just click, 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 and install. Okay. The next step is to get your Windows C++ Visual Basics 86. That's this one here. See? Microsoft Visual C++ 2013 Redistributable 86. Okay. Now you could probably get the later version, but this is the one I'm using in this vision. So we'll just double click on that. And that's as simple as click, 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 and install. That's just done like this. And of course, it's just going to take a few seconds to do its thing. And once that's done, we'll be ready for the next step. I already have this installed, but I don't know if that should cause troubles on this. No, it's good. Okay, so next one is going to be Notepad++. Everybody's favorite. This is what you use to edit your any files. So you go find this at Notepad++. You just Google this name and you'll find it. It's very popular. And you just install it. Just click, 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 click. Very simple. Okay, the next on the list is we're going to install our MySQL. Okay, so we're going to double click or go to MariaDB 5.5 and download that version. I'm using 64-bit Windows, so everything that I've got is pretty much 64-bit here, of course. So once you've got Maria, you're just going to double click, and this is your MySQL, by the way. So it says welcome to Maria. Now it's going to say, yeah, accept the terms, and then just click next here. Now it's going to ask you for a password. So you can, here's what your master password is going to be. So you make something nice and secure for yourself here. And let's say, I'm just going to make one for myself because I'm going to actually use this later. Now here's if you want to enable root access for remote machines. So like say I have another server and I have MySQL Workbench on there. I can tie into this if this is enabled. Now I want to be able to remotely manage my databases, so I'm going to enable that. Now we're going to click next. Next. You don't have to touch anything else. Next, and install. And that was as simple as that. So the user is root, password is what I made it, and that's how you will log in once this is done. Let me show you how that works real quick. Let's go ahead and install this. Yeah, if you like my videos, by the way, please subscribe and like, and also visit theoreshop.com for some amazing ore files, and you can also sell your own on there. We have a collection of freely distributed ones, as well as hosting these videos, of course. Right, so now that we have the MySQL installed, we need to create max packets for it, or set it up. So what you need to do is you go to Start Bar, All Programs, MariaDB 5.5, my.ini. Now you're going to need to, this line right here is not going to be in your server. So what you have to do is you have to put a space above the client and add in max underscore allowed underscore packet equals, and then I define 998M, which is 998 megabytes. Which is a great number for Mac, because that way it allows for larger blob files to be stored in MySQL. So once it's done, you just save, and that's that. In fact, you need to actually restart MySQL or restart the server. So this instance, what we would do is we would just restart the server, and that's as simple as just going up to your start bar and clicking restart. It's going to prompt you with a, why do you want to restart this server? You can just push ASDF in there, or you can, MySQL installation, and then you can, it's just a log of why you restarted it. You just wait, and it'll come back up, and you just log back in with remote desktop once about 5 minutes have passed and your server's restarted. If there's nothing else needed to do, it'll automatically come back up, go online, and get ready for you to log into. Okay, so let's pretend we've restarted our server and it's all back up. So we're going to continue on our installation. Now we need to install MySQL Workbench. Now you don't need this, but I enjoy it quite thoroughly. So and it's free. So we're going to go ahead and just continue. It's very simple to install all these dependencies. It's just click, click, click. The longest and hardest part is the waiting for it to install. Maybe finding the files might be hard for you guys. I could even zip all these up, put them in a file on my website if you guys really want. That way you don't have to go looking. But that's up to you. But these would be older versions by the time you got them. But after you install it, it would give you an option to upgrade them. So that might be an idea, actually. Save you guys from looking around. Okay, so now that's done. Now, we don't have an instance set up yet, so we're not going to worry. It's going to start, and we'll just close it because we don't need it yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our first database. So we're going to open this, and it's going to say, okay, well, we need a new session, so let's go new. We're going to call this Sky Life Grid or whatever you want, basically. And here is where you enter your password that you made at the creation when you installed this. And you just click open. And there you are. Now you're into your MySQL. To make a new table, very simple. You right click on this little area here, and you go to create table, and you click database. Now you just name it whatever you fancy. Now in the tutorial videos, we're going to be using tutorial, our welcome center. And we're also, actually you can't have a space, sorry, so let me drop that. I'm just going to go create table, welcome center, and then we'll create one, we'll call it like robust or something. But these, yeah, and then that's how you make a database. Now to assign a user, if you want to make a different user, you just go up to here, to tools, user manager. You can add a user here, you just choose a name like Billy, Bob, and then you can grant him access from any, which would be like that, or you can access them from only the server location, so that they have to be logged into this local host before they can access it, which is great for running a grid because then people can't hack into there, and unless you have remote admin set up, then they possibly could. But anyways, just set your password. This could be anything you want, like jibber jabber yibber yabber, and then you grant the permissions and save, and that's all that's needed for creating a user. Next on, we're going to install WinRAR or 7-zip. That's easy enough. It's click, 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 click. Lastly, we're going to install XAMPP, and this one here is going to be done by clicking, double clicking, And we're going to accept the terms here once they pop up. Alright, so we're going to install XAMPP here. We're just double click on it. It's going to pop up the installer. That's because I have an antivirus on. Now this might show up for you because if you haven't deactivated UAC on your server, just close this out real quick and type in UAC here. User accounts, user permissions, control. Change user account and control settings. So I'll just drag that down to never. And now I'll double click. And this will allow it to install. Alright, so once this installs here, this is the section here that we need to make sure we uncheck this right here because we've already got MariaDB, so we just uncheck that. Everything else is fine to install, so we just click next, 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 next. It's going to pop up this where you can get plugins for your web server that automatically installs, so you can run your own websites and whatnot. Which is kind of nice. So yeah, this is installing now. Alright, and we're just about finished with the installation of XAMPP. It may take a little while on your server depending. I'm doing this on my home computer right now, so yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than normal. Or not responding. There we go. Alright, so just click finish. And it's going to load XAMPP here. Okay, so just click on it. Double click to open the screen. There it is there. And all you got to do is click start on Apache. And it may ask you to unblock it from your firewall. It probably won't start on my server, on my system, because I've got Skype running and a few other things. But you won't have a problem with it once you do it on your server. It'll just start. And that's all you need to start, is to start Apache and then just minimize it. Okay? So once you're done that, we will be ready to go ahead and start installing opensim robust. And that will be covered in the next video. Thank you for watching.